Hello guys, what is going on? SonOfChelsea back here again for another edition of Let's Talk Chelsea on this amazing Monday. It's Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, but it's a great Monday to be Chelsea wherever you're watching this video in the world today, because Chelsea are champions of Europe. Just in case you missed it, Chelsea are champions of Europe. Breaking news, Chelsea are champions of Europe. So today's video is going to kind of be focusing on transfers, looking forward to the summer and what's next for Chelsea as now the kings of Europe. How can the club build on this massive success that we got on Saturday night in Porto? Matt Law wrote this brilliant piece in the Telegraph talking about the big targets Chelsea are going to go in for this summer. A lot of them we know and I've spoken about on the channel, but one or two of them we haven't heard about before, so it's interesting to discuss them. But just I think a general theme today in the video that I want to discuss is why for me Chelsea can't just sit on their laurels now, despite it being one of the most incredible nights in Chelsea history that will never be tarnished or forgotten. I think there needs to be a belief now that this can be the start of something even greater under Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea. But before we get into any of that good stuff, this week on the channel we're going to have lots of reaction to the Champions League triumph with some brilliant guests coming back onto the channel to discuss this season and what it means for the future. So make sure you don't miss any of the uploads on the channel, as well as the news, latest news around Chelsea, and also the Euros that I'm going to be covering this summer too. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and a notification bell, and because Chelsea are champions of Europe, once again hit that like button because it helps out the channel as well. But let's get into it. Matt Law wrote this brilliant piece, Chelsea transfer targets revealed as Thomas Tuchel tells Roman Abramovich he wants to build an empire. Apparently head coach Tuchel triggered an extension to his contract of at least 2 years plus a significant pay rise to the $7 million a year deal he signed when he succeeded Frank Lampard at the end of January by leading Chelsea to victory over Man City in Porto. Having briefly spoken to him for the first time on Saturday night, Tuchel met with Chelsea owner Abramovich in Porto again on Sunday morning before he and the squad flew back to England for further talks that were described as being positive. Tuchel wants a new striker, with Chelsea already registering their interest in re-signing Lukaku. Apparently Lukaku's agent was in Porto on Saturday night, and Matt Law mentions once again Harry Kane, despite the difficulty of trying to negotiate a deal with Tottenham Hotspur. A midfielder and at least one defender are also on the Germans' wish list, which includes a right-sided player who can offer Chelsea's squad some greater balance. The right-sided player could be Adama Traore. Matt Law brings up his name for the first time linking to Chelsea, and apparently Tuchel admires Traore and believes he could add greater balance to the squad. Borussia Mönchengladbach's Jonas Hoffmann as well is named, and some of this has to do with caution over Hakim Ziyech due to playing the African Cup of Nations next season, which is due to run a month at the start of 2022. With Chelsea expecting to sell Fikayo Tomori to AC Milan for an initial £25 million and willing to listen to offers for £40 million striker Tammy Abraham, as well as attempting to sell a host of fringe players, Tuchel could have as much as £200 million to spend this summer. It remains to be seen whether or not Chelsea can negotiate a deal for Tuchel's top midfield target Declan Rice, with Monaco's Aurelien Tchouameni one of the few cheaper alternatives, but the 47-year-old will prioritise quality over quantity. Jacob Steinberg in The Guardian also bringing up Lukaku here, and several other reports across the media speaking about Chelsea's big plans in the summer. I think, yeah, it's brilliant to hear about, you know, a title charge building on this amazing triumph. I think even if we hadn't have won on Saturday, I think we've known that we've needed to improve in key areas. But the mentality, the culture of winning, the belief it's going to give to everyone now of us being champions of Europe is so big. And like we saw in 2012 with Eden Hazard, that was a large part of us getting him across the line, you know, and as well, just the idea of being champions of Europe now and not allowing this amazing moment to just pass by. As I said at the start of the video, you know, nothing's going to tarnish this. It is like, you know, of course, Havertz scoring that goal, us winning the Champions League on Saturday will be remembered forever. You know, we could finish 10th next year. It's not going to make any difference to what happened on Saturday. But I think there is a general belief now that with Tuchel, the amazing coach he is, the amazing job he's done with this club already, that can we build on this now as the club with the resources we have? Can we go and win a Premier League title? Can we sustain success at the top? I think that's something that has been of big frustration. I personally think, and I don't think this is entitled or sounding arrogant to say this, I don't think the club should go 7 years without winning a Champions League knockout tie again. With the quality of players we can attract and the quality of players we have, I just don't think that should be happening for a club of our size and what we can invest in the squad. So that should be something that I think should be built upon. It's not that we're going to win the Champions League every year or even get to the semi-final every year. Of course, that's unrealistic, and it's not like we're going to win the Premier League title every year. That's unrealistic with the quality and the way football goes, how unpredictable it is. But I think at least for this summer should be building on this moment. And I do agree with Tuchel, and this is a quote that came out from a lot of the articles sort of reporting on this big transfer sort of splurge that we're going to see once again this summer on key players. This is what Tuchel had to say: we will be seen a bit differently as Champions League winners, and this is where we have to step up. If we really want to build something, I'm all in, I can tell you, and I'm happy to talk about it and discuss it. If our beliefs match, we will go from there. Quality over quantity is another big thing here. As I've constantly stressed, it's not like last summer. We don't need to sign like 5 or 6 players. That shouldn't be happening because it's just not necessary. I think we need at least 2 players that could stretch, as has been reported, to maybe 3 or 4, at least 3. I know the idea of a right-sided player. We've spoken about Jadon Sancho before, but Adama Traore is an interesting one. Once again, can we maybe promote someone from the academy? I know Livramento is a player that's excited a lot of people, and you think about someone that could rotate with Reece James next season. But Adama Traore is a very exciting player. He still is a youngish player, not as young as he used to be, but is a player that can be explosive. And you wonder why Tuchel wants him and why he'd want to bring him to the club. A very exciting talent, absolutely, and someone that I have admired over a long period of time. But absolutely, the 2 key priorities, as I've continued to stress, is a striker, most likely in Romelu Lukaku. We absolutely need to get that deal done, and as well Declan Rice or Aurelien Tchouameni. Those are the 2 areas that I think Chelsea need to improve on for next season. I think with both of those players, you can really see sort of us go to the next level now, because winning a Champions League is the biggest thing in club football. It is, the emotion on Saturday is just, it's incredible, and it's priceless. If you could bottle that up, you'd make a lot of money. But winning a Premier League title with something this squad needs to prove to everyone, basically. Having that consistency over 38 games is a lot different, and it's something that this squad has struggled with. I think that one of the things that has helped us in the Champions League is being the underdog, basically, and having to play on the counter a lot of the times, and that really working for Tuchel. In a Premier League season, and that's not going to be the case. The majority of the time, Chelsea are not going to be the underdogs in games, and now with the Champions League, once again, in West London, it's going to make teams even more hungry to beat Chelsea, despite the fact we're not Premier League champions. So that is something I think psychologically Chelsea have to get better at next season, performing in the games we're supposed to win. That has been something that's made the last 7 days, the last year, so ridiculous. Losing to Aston Villa last week in pretty horrendous fashion, but then winning the Champions League 6 days later even, so that's something that I want to see, and hopefully some big signings will improve upon that, and we can go to the next level and seriously compete for a Premier League title for the first time since 2017, which is what this club absolutely needs to do now. It's got Tuchel as our head coach. And as well, the new era. I know Nini FC put out a really good video today speaking about what's next, and really what he was focusing on is the new era, the younger players within this squad, the investment in the young players from the academy, the likes of Reece James, the likes of Mason Mount, but you see the generation below that, Tino Anjorin, Billy Gilmore, Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, is finding minutes now under Thomas Tuchel as well. Yes, there's that upset that both Fikayo Tomori and Tammy Abraham will be leaving, but what it shows you, I think the vindication for the academy is Mason Mount playing the ball that wins the Champions League for Chelsea. Both of those players, both Reece James and Mason Mount, have been incredible under Tuchel and absolutely deserve to be key players for Chelsea moving forward. And what it proves to you is, if you do invest in your young players, as I've said before, I think it helps on the side of transfers. If you can save a lot of money, like up to 100 million and beyond that with key players in the first team, it saves you money to then spend and reinvest on the squad. So I think once again proving that the youth academy at Chelsea does matter, and a pathway to the first team is something that should be valued and not diminished at our club. But now I want to pass it over to you guys. What do you think about this summer? Because there are so many big names that I'm sure Chelsea will be going in for. Some names that I'd be desperate for Chelsea to sign: Lukaku, Declan Rice, other names as well that we could speak about. And just where do you think we should improve, and also what are your hopes for next season? This is a very unpredictable club, and I'll stress that once again. We know how messy this club is at times and how unpredictable it is, how mental it is. So to expect stability at Chelsea is always a bit of a myth. We are predictably unpredictable, and I think we need chaos to survive at times and to flourish. But let me know your sort of hopes for next season in the transfer market in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter at SonOfChelsea. Have a great day, and I'll see you again.